Hi, buongiorno. This is Jim Campanini, and welcome to my show, Wine Novice. I hope you look at the blog on www.lowellson.com, and hopefully you will follow along and also give me your comments. This is a two-way street that we can hopefully both learn about wines and enhance our wine experience. Today, I just want to show the different varietals of wine. This is a Pinot Noir, this is a Merlot, and this is a Cabernet. We want to consider the color. As we talked about color in the first video that we did for the Wine Novice, just want to explain a little more and what do we see and what do we smell and what do we taste in the different grapes. And this is why wine is just such a fascinating experience, and also to learn a little about the different wines that we consume and enjoy them with our friends. Because eventually, what really makes this experience such a great enjoyment is that when we pair cheeses, foods, with our different wines. So we actually heighten the food flavors, the wine flavors. Believe me when I tell you this, because that's why I'm a wine novice. When I first started drinking wines, I really didn't understand their true impact that they could have on the dining experience. It's one thing to select a $100 bottle of wine when you go to a restaurant, but do you really know if you're getting the value, the taste, and the really good feel from that wine that you deserve? Is it really any different from that $10 or $12 bottle of wine that you might have had at home or had at a different restaurant with your friends that for some reason it was just fantastic? What made it fantastic? Do you know? Maybe it was the food. Maybe it was the cheese. Everything just blended together, meshed together, worked well. The wine brought out the special taste in the food, or the food enhanced the wine. It happens. And that's where I am on the search and the adventure with finding what pairs well with the different wines. It could be a simple cheese, a blue cheese, a brie in a wine. Naturally, there are certain cheeses and foods that go better with red wine as opposed to what goes with white wine. The adage for most people, the simple test is red goes with red, meaning red wines go with red meats, and white goes with white. White wines go with white, fish and chicken, poultry, and pork. But there are all different things that could add to that experience, whether you put a sauce or what you want to highlight in that meal. That might make you change or blend certain things to try to enhance that taste. And you know what? There are sometimes failures, but you learn, because you might find a wine that doesn't go good with your food. And what I always do is I keep a little log of all the wines that I open with my wife and we taste, and the foods that we have with it, and we rate not only that bottle of wine, but we rate the experience. You might try that. It's really fun, especially when you go back a couple of months and see what you had and that type of wine, the food you had, and what the experience was. Can you improve upon that experience? You can always improve upon it. So it's really interesting and it's fun, especially to do with friends. Okay, first of all, as we talked in the first class, it's interesting to look at the grape and see the different color. Now, if you hold this up to the light, okay, I don't know if can you see that nice, John? John's my producer here. Wow, that looks really, really almost like a ruby quality to it. It's a little light red, and that is the thin grape of the Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir is a very, very difficult wine to produce really well. This is one of my favorites. It only costs $19. It's a California wine, La Crema, and I sampled this at a wine tasting room in Sonoma County. But for the winemaker, this is a challenge because they have to pick this Pinot Noir grape just as the height of its ripeness. If they just diverge by a day or two, if it rains and that water seeps into the grape, it could really impact the liquid inside that grape, because the water does get through the thin skin, and it could turn that nice fruit that they use for the wine and the fermentation process. It could really change its quality. So we take a look at that, and we look at the color. We swirl it. Okay, swirl it. It's better to do it on the table. Okay. We give it that chest. There's a little slight aroma there. Chin. Wow, it really comes through there. Very expansive. It's strawberries almost. Strawberries, you know, you're going to hear that berry taste most, but there's definitely a berry quality there. Almost like a little citrus, a little. I can't detect if it's lemon. I'm still learning, but it's definitely there. Now we're going to take a little sip. Swallow and savor. Wow, that is very good Pinot Noir. If you like, and Pinot Noir, like I said, is a difficult grape to really produce. But this has been turned into a very quality wine. I like Pinot Noir. It pairs well with pork chops, and also with some nice mild cheeses. But that's a very good wine. Now, you might remember Merlot in the movie Sideways, where they did a number on Merlot, and the lead character in the movie just ranted and raved about it, and it really gave Merlot a bad name. And for a while, the Merlot sales actually suffered. But Merlot is a very, it's an old grape, an old world grape that has been produced very well in California and other regions around the world. Like there are some areas where it does well in cool climates. And as you can see, if you can compare these two glasses, okay, this is actually a lighter. Let me hold that up to the light. It's actually a little lighter than that Merlot grape. This, like I said, this is a little ruby. You can see the highlights in that. This grape is just a little darker. You can actually see your fingers. You know, if you look down here, you can see your fingers through it. It's not an inky color, and that's probably a good angle right there. But it definitely almost has that tawny red tinge to it, a little darker than the Pinot Noir. Okay. Once again, let's go through the test here. I'll put it on my chest. No, I can't really. There's a little aromatic flavor, smell that I have here. It's not as strong as the Pinot Noir. That was a little zestier. Okay, there is that same type of aroma. You know what? This is more earthy or mineral. Not as berry a smell, but there are some fruit, you know, and sometimes you can even detect vegetables, herbs, other fruits in your aromas. Like I said in an earlier broadcast, there are upwards of 200 different aromas, and you're not being wrong when you detect something different from someone else or your friend. Everybody's senses are different, and it's the more you do this test, you will refine your own senses and what you're smelling in the glass. Okay, now we're going to sip this. Always have a spittoon handy. That is very good Merlot. This is a Ecco Domani. This probably costs about $12. It has a really smooth, velvety finish, and it gave you a little tingle in the back of your tongue. Those are the tannins working, and that dryness on the palate. But boy, you can really really taste that something is going on there when you put that on your tongue and really swirl it around there. So Merlot is a very is a very good wine that has a lot of value. Once again, you don't have to spend $100, not even $50 to find a wine that you like that really goes with the food that you're either serving or eating out in your restaurant experience. So let's move on. There's a reason why they call Cabernet Sauvignon King Cab. The Sauvignon grape is probably the most the most I would say used and also grown grape all around the world. It stands up to all kinds of climates, a little cool weather, warm weather, has its characteristics from different regions. But I'll tell you, why it is King Cab. It is a full-bodied texture, a full-bodied wine. It's heavy on the palate, and as you can see, this wine, looking through it, let me hold it up there. That is a deep purple. It's probably the deepest colored grape that you will find, and it just holds up really well. Good Cabernet could hold up for 50 to 100 years. The French Bordeaux region has been creating fine wines that sell for thousands of dollars, and it's usually a good Cabernet that's what's in that bottle. So. This is a Louis Martini. Now this is very interesting. I tasted this out in a Sonoma Valley tasting room in October, and when I came back to the Lowell area, I was watching for it to pop up in some of the local stores, and this 2009 was rated 88 points to 91 points from Wine Spectator and Wine Enthusiast. And it was originally selling for around $26. I waited till it went on sale for $19.99, and I bought 6 bottles of it. Now, that's what I call a value, because there's some very good Cabernets out there selling in the $40 to $50 range. You don't have to spend that much money. The enjoyment of wine is finding something that you really like, that pairs well with food that you like, and boy, enjoying it. And this is one of those bottles. Louis Martini, I visited that vineyard out there, and I'll tell you, it was, if you ever get out to Sonoma Valley and the Sonoma County, you want to go there. The people are friendly, and the operation is just magnificent. So let's try this. We're going to put it on our chest. The aroma's a little muted right there. Put it on the chin. Wow, comes through right there. And I say wow because this has got a big fruity finish. This is a lot of raspberry in here, and almost like black, the black currants, earthiness. There's something in there. I wouldn't go so far as saying, well. No, I don't know what stone really smells like, and that's what gets me about some of these wine tasters. But there's something minerally going on in here. Now we're going to sip it. I tell you, that is very, very smooth. It's big. It's round, and when I say that, it has a strong feel in your mouth. This would pair well with a nice steak, big foods, and red meat that you might like. And I'll tell you, this Louis Martini would pair up really well. So what you can take today from this learning experience is the different characteristics that the grape has. I mean, there are so many varietals of wine, and I don't know what you particularly enjoy, but one of the best adventures is trying a little bit of each, and in developing your taste buds for each one of these different wines. So you know what? Over time, you will know when someone serves you a Pinot Noir and says, gee, what's in that glass? You know what? You'll be able to detect it. Or at least you'll be able to say, gee, I can tell by the color, this is a thin-skinned grape, and this comes from might come from a certain region, whether warm or cold, and the same thing with the Merlot and the Cabernet. You know that some of the different cheeses that work well with this, you try it on your own, you keep your little booklet, okay, and as you go along, you continue to add to your digest and your appreciation for all these wines. And lastly, remember, you do not have to spend a lot of money on wine. If you have any good selections for me, go to lowellsun.com, look for my wine blog, and make sure you tell me. Thank you very much. Have a good day.